Hi, welcome to Marketing Monday. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Today we are talking all you want for Christmas in your CRM. It's going to be a great conversation, and we're going to introduce a brand new co host. So stick around. First, this. I am so very, very excited because we have a brand new person to introduce to you. First up, though, is Teddy from Welcome Home. Hey, Teddy. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome. I'm good. I'm good. I'm really excited to introduce Chris. Chris, come on over.
Hey, everybody. Great to be here today.
Hey, Chris. So we've been doing Marketing Mondays with Welcome Home for a few months now, and Welcome Home just has a brand new marketing director. Chris, you can share your actual title name, and we are going to talk with him today, learn how he came to be at Welcome Home, and what we all have in store for the next few months with Chris. And then we're going to talk about CRMs. And if you're in the market for a new CRM, or you are like not quite sure you're loving your current one, stick around and you can hear some pros and cons of things you might be facing and how they might be addressed. But Chris, first let's talk to you. How are you, Chris? Tell us all about yourself.
So I'm really excited to be here. Joined the Welcome Home team a couple of weeks back, and I've changed my display name. Usually I don't talk about my middle name because who cares? But it seems appropriate as our little holiday edition. My initials are actually CRM. And so here I am, VP of marketing for the best CRM company in senior living. And I felt like that was worth hyping up today. It's pretty exciting.
It was meant to be, Chris. That's what
I
you're
know.
born for.
That's it. That's it. It's my path. So yeah, I'm here. I'm super excited to be obviously working with Teddy and team. They've done a fantastic job. I'm a little jealous, on the little intro, there was that cartoon of Teddy and John. So maybe at some point, if I do a good enough job, I'll get like cartoon version of Chris that also gets added to the show. Stay tuned.
You have to write Santa and ask for it, and we'll see.
We'll see.
And
Yep.
when for everyone else, right? It's all you want for Christmas from your CRM or in a CRM. For me, all I wanted for Christmas was a VP of marketing to do marketing for Welcome Home, so that I didn't have it. So I view Chris as my Christmas present from John to the company to be able to do all things marketing, and what a novel idea for us to have a marketer on Marketing Monday. So I think that's great. Chris, do you want to give us a little bit of background about things you were doing prior to Welcome Home?
Yeah, absolutely. So prior to Welcome Home, I was leading the charge for a marketing agency specific to senior living, which is how I got connected to Teddy and to the Welcome Home team. So very familiar with senior living, aging services, and I've grown to love it. So from that perspective of both the creative effort, designing those marketing campaigns, for operators, and just knowing what it takes, right? Because there's a lot of technology involved. There's a lot of different moving parts, and connecting all of those things together, and the visibility into how effective all of those different parts are. And it's just such a great space, right? I tell people all the time. I was just at a friend's birthday party on Saturday, sat down, and I started explaining like, hey, I'm, VP of marketing for a CRM software company in senior living. And she immediately lit up and she's like, I went to school for gerontology. I love aging services. I love the senior space. And so what a cool space that we're in. So excited to just continue my journey. And it's like right next door, right? When Teddy and I talked, he was like, I love this side of things. And I was like, well, I love the other side of things. So excited as a team, that we're going to be able to just keep on driving that success of Welcome Home. And yeah, just knowing like this is what's going on in the senior living space. So excited to continue, the friends that I already have, and then continuing to develop new friendships in this space as well. Yeah.
Yay! We're so excited to have you, and everybody will be seeing more of Chris in future episodes as well. Today we're going to talk about CRMs. Hey, Teddy, what does CRM stand for?
Customer Relation Management System, basically.
Yeah. Thank you. Steve Moran loves to tell the story of when Welcome Home was first being created. He thought it was just a crazy idea to introduce a new CRM because there are just so many options. And now Welcome Home is like the number one best CRM in senior living. And I think that what he finds the difference to be is that it's made specifically for senior living with the feedback of senior living industry. And y'all have such passion about what you do and how to make it better. So let's explore some of the kind of, as people are looking around at different CRMs, what are some of the pain points that they're encountering, and how does Welcome Home address that? And first of all, the first thing that I think Welcome Home prides itself in is something really important, which is ease of use.
Yeah, I think that it's the most important, right? And so when anybody in senior living, is making their holiday wish list for the softwares that they use to enable their success, probably I'm going to venture out to say that 100% of those people put ease of use as the top request that they make on their list for all softwares, not just CRM, but for everything that they want, right? And so ease of use is paramount, because when people are making this wish list, they're adding a lot of things about what they want their software provider, their vendor, their CRM to be able to do for them. But at the end of the day, a lot of the things that they suggest, which we're going to get to on our list, are absolutely useless if the CRM or the piece of software isn't used by the folks that it's intended to be used by, and they're only going to use it if it's easy to use. And when Welcome Home was first being designed, all the other CRMs were currently out there in the space. We spent a year listening, and we were trying to figure out what are the biggest pain points. And the top one was that adoption rates of other programs were low because sales directors, executive directors, regional salespeople, VPs of sales felt that their current products that they were using weren't user friendly. They weren't easy to use. And I guarantee that there's people probably not watching this Marketing Monday live right now because they are a sales director and they are trying to get move-ins end of year. And they're going to come back and they're going to watch it later and they're like, yeah, that's exactly right. I was doing a million other things during the time period. And I don't want to have to do tours, help with dining, manage my leads, help manage marketing. I don't want to have to do all these things and fight my software or tell my software everything that I did that day. So when Welcome Home focused on ease of use, it needed to be the lowest common denominator of technological ability, right? So who is the least tech savvy person that we can put this in front of? Can, with limited training, they use the CRM. And then when we put in unlimited free training, right, can they become a powerhouse and know what to do? And so I think ease of use is paramount. And the fact that you really you want a system that actually helps you. So that's where auto logging and recording of all activities they do as they do it, text, email, Zoom, phone calls, really frees up their time. So at the end of the day, they don't just have to report to their boss, I made 20 phone calls, I sent 37 text messages, and I sent, 55 emails today and made 3 Zoom calls, right? The CRM already knows that. So ease of use is paramount. That's been the biggest differentiator for Welcome Home as well. We're going to talk about some others, but if you read any of our 60 plus 5-star Google reviews, I'm going to bet that high 90% of them mention ease of use.
Wow, and the ease of use just saves you so much time, as you said. When you, as a side note, when people come to Welcome Home, do you find that most people in senior living are using a CRM, or are some people not, and they want to buy one brand new, or do they just not like their current one? And want to switch?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the one of the biggest things that we see is most people are using some sort of CRM, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are folks that aren't using anything, and they've been succeeding, or maybe they weren't pre-pandemic using anything and they were succeeding, but then the pandemic exposed the fact that maybe they needed to get off Excel spreadsheets and pen and paper. But most people are doing. And I think this brings me up to, I'm going to go down to another one on my list, which is integration. A lot of people are using CRMs that aren't the bread and butter of the company that provides that product. And what I mean by that is it's really hard for technology providers to do everything at the highest level. Right? Most technology providers enter at, for instance, we entered in sales and marketing and have stayed in sales and marketing, right? You enter in a lane and then there's this concept of creep that gets introduced to where you start being like, oh, well, people need this. Let's build X, Y, and Z. And the further away you go from your core product, oftentimes the success of your deliverability lacks. And so a lot of people were introduced to the idea of like, I'm going to use an all-in-one system. However, the CRM portion of that specifically is the least capable portion of the entire platform. So one of the things that was vital for us in Welcome Home, and something that everyone should wish for in a software provider and a CRM in general, is integration. You want a fully integrated platform. That doesn't mean you pay one person to give you that, but that means that no matter who you pay, that the system can fully talk with any system that you're using, and the other, billing, EMR, and marketing, right? And so I think that's super important. And Chris, from your background, I'll let you speak too about the importance of integration that you've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we started the agency side of things, like lead gen, really, as a marketing agency, saying like, okay, we've got all these channels, providing information, providing this contact data, and then it has to move from the marketing side into that sales workspace, right? So having a really robust, integrated, you're essentially building a bridge for that information to go from the marketing effort into the sales effort. And then a lot of times back, right? Like you want to know, okay, what's now happened with this contact? So the importance of integration just means having visibility into the actions of the different team members, right? That's so important to increase efficiency. So, simply if there's like a family member and they make a decision to move in, now you're not sending them still some of the marketing, like schedule a tour information. Now you're, transitioning them into some different marketing efforts. So integration allows for that. Integration allows for us to keep that work efficient, to keep that communication between different platforms clear, and so important because just different team members doing different things and making sure that everyone's aware of what one hand and the other hand are doing together at the same time.
Yeah, you want everybody to be on the same page, right? All departments. And so integration is a huge piece. Anytime you're evaluating a CRM partner or a software provider in general, you want to know, do you have an open API, and can you bilaterally integrate with folks like that? That would be on my wish list. That is on my wish list anytime I evaluate softwares for even our own company, right? And so the aspect of that is kind of why we have the integrations with, on the lead gen side, Active Demand, Active Campaign, HubSpot. That's why we have the bilateral integrations with those. Or when we talk about like SiteStaff, Further, Rubric, Yardi, RealPage, Matrix Care, Vitals, Eldermark, Alice, Point Click Care, right? Like you want to be able to integrate with everyone so that all the systems that they've chosen to use can bilaterally talk and keep clinical on the same page as marketing, and keep business office managers on the same page as sales, as an example.
It seems like you listed out some of them. It seems like every time I turn around, Welcome Home's integrating with somebody new. Do you know how many integrations there are?
I don't even know that I'd be able to give you an answer off the top of my head. Maybe we'll put that on Chris's to-do list as he gets spun up. But yeah, I mean, our goal is bilateral, best-in-class integrations with everybody. And, you know, that's what we've been able to do with like all the PCCs and all the ones that I've mentioned of the world.
Yeah, I mean, and you raise a really valid point, Leanne. I think some of the goal is just making people aware of what integrations are available, you know, and so treating Welcome Home almost as like that central nervous system, like that's the brain, and how is it connecting with these other systems that are happening. And there's new technology happening all the time. You know, you go to some of these expos, you go to some of these places, and it's like, oh, here's this new resident engagement, here's this new feature, here's this new technology. And so that's what Teddy's referencing, like designing Welcome Home, designing your CRM in such a way that allows for that ongoing like future integration. So as these other systems come online, it's like, yeah, we can talk to them as well, and making sure those connections are valid and in place.
Yeah, that's great. And let's go to something that talking about all the different products out there, something that's kind of a hot topic right now, which is automation. It's automation is one of those things that can also be very cumbersome or really make your life so much better. So tell me about Welcome Home's version of automation. What does automation mean when it comes to Welcome Home? What can you do with it?
Yeah, I mean, automation is crucial when you think about combining it with ease of use, right? And your integrations. You want, again, it's the end of the year. People are really busy scrapping for move-ins and getting signed agreements and move-in documents and leasing documents, et cetera. But you want a system that if you are busy doing something, that it can do it for you. And the example that I always use is you should be able to establish triggers in your software, in your CRM, that just says, these are the administrative tasks that I view as extremely important for my job and towards driving occupancy, but they're the ones that are the first to slip through the cracks the second I get a walk-in tour and I don't have time to do something. And so an example would be every single time you schedule a tour, you want automatically a tour reminder email and or text message to go out to the prospect's family. You want it to say, hey, your tour is 24 hours from now. Here's the directions. Here's what it wants to go. But not just there, you also want it to remind the staff members in the community that Bernie's coming in for a tour tomorrow. Here's his likes and dislikes so that they can cultivate a very personal tour. And then post-tour, you want the executive director to be prompted to write a handwritten thank you email. You want a survey to automatically go out. You want a sales mail or a one-day video to automatically go out, right? There's all these aspects of things that are super crucial to making a very personalized, resident-focused process. But if your software doesn't do it for you, then you're reliant on having stellar sales directors that somehow found 25 and 26 and 27 hours in a 24-hour day to do all those things for you. So that's the real key, is making sure, like, what can the software take off your plate and do for you, and how as a company can we standardize that process into whatever our operation process is.
Oh, that's so important. It's the things that you're describing are the things that will make somebody love your community, have a connection to your community, these little personal touches and surveys and such. And yet there are, just like you said, they're the things that go right off the list when you're so dang busy you can't hardly remember to do it. What a dream come true to have it done for you. How about, let's move on to customization. Tell me a little bit about how Welcome Home is customized.
Yeah, so we use a couple phrases around here when it comes to customization. But before I get to those, like, the first point about customization is you as an operator are unique, right? You don't operate the same way as the person down the street. Otherwise, why wouldn't you two just be the exact same company?
Yep.
You have a differentiator about it. So Welcome Home needs to be customizable to fit your standard. We have best practices that we will tell everyone, but then from their point forward, it's pen and ink. What do I want changed? And then with best in class dedicated customer service, we build that for them. And the phrase that we use is, there's what's called the tyranny of the blank page, which if I hand you a blank sheet of paper and tell you, tell me exactly what you want your perfect CRM to look like. You might be paralyzed with decision making and fear and not know where to start. But if I hand you a sheet of paper that says, here's what other operators like, here's some suggestions, then you can react to it and go forth and conquer. And that's kind of what we use. It's freedom within a framework, right? We're not giving you death by customization. We're really enabling you to be customized the way you want to go. And as Chris knows from even prior experiences, operators want different processes in different ways.
Yep. Yeah, so you'll hear me talking analogies a lot. So my analogy for this is like, it's like giving somebody, like, you've got the piano, here are all the keys, those are the notes, and now we're gonna write the song together. And so everybody's song is unique, but they're all starting with the same, 88 keys on the keyboard. And that's the goal there with customization. It's like, we have these keys. Now, how do you want this song to be written? And that gives some good freedom. Yeah.
Do you have an example of something that you can customize or that you've done lately for a client?
Yeah. So, it's everything from what you call your stages, right? So some people call their stages inquiry, connection made, pre-tour, post-tour, deposit, move-in. And the example there would be a lot of times there's leads that come to your website. If your marketing agency and or your marketing department isn't doing a good job of differentiating where job applicants should come through the website versus where prospective senior residents come through, then all of a sudden what you can end up with is leads that aren't actually qualified contacts, right? And so one of the things that people want to measure is, out of all my digital leads that come in, what % of my digital leads are actually qualified? And so what Welcome Home allows us to do is customize that journey and that process of getting them in. And then therefore you can start to understand, well, how do we segment out the ones that aren't qualified so that when I'm reporting to my ownership groups, the ratios that we're seeing, they're not being skewed by, all these non-actual qualified residents. And, that's a big thing. We're going to get into talking about reporting and some other stuff, but that's where it comes into play and automations, right? Automations are customizable. Yeah. So the examples that I included in there are obviously also customizable as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you mentioned report. We have two more things to go over for what you want to look for in a CRM. And one is reporting and the other one is mobility. Let's talk about reporting first. Tell me about, I know Welcome Home's reporting is vast. You can get pretty much anything you want, can't you?
Yeah. Yes. Our reporting is pretty vast. It's built, proprietary directly within the CRM through the API. All of it can be, downloaded and put into other systems as well. We talked about integration. But the key with reporting is, if you asked a sales director and a VP of sales, or let's go with sales director and C-suite, what their top thing that they would wish for in a CRM or in a software is, I bet you 9 times out of 10, the CEO or the CFO is going to say reporting, right? And then I'll bet you that the sales director is going to say ease of use. And so the disconnect there is that if it's not easy to use for the sales director and they're not actually using the CRM, then all your reports are going to be garbage, because data in, is important. And if it's garbage in, it's garbage out. So you want real-time actual data. So first and foremost, we focused on real data versus self-reported data. So we actually know what people do versus making them, remember to write down and log what they did. And then in terms of actual reporting, there's a variety of different people that want to look at reports. There's some people that just want to click a button and it tell them the answer to a situation. And an example would be, I want to know what my lead source analysis is. What leads are converting at what rate? Click a button, tell me that answer, right? Or there may be something that they want it to be more complex, where I am, I'm not, but in this hypothetical world, I'm a CFO and I'm data analytical and I can get in and I can manipulate data and I want to create a custom report. Well, bam, you can mix and match package reports together, customize, add columns, and get things. But the majority of the people that access the reports and action on the reports want to be able to click a button and say, show me all my leads that have been stuck, they've done a tour, but I haven't been able to move them past that stage. They've been in that stage for greater than 60 days. that said that they potentially want to move in within 1 to 3 months because I'm into that period, right? You want a report that's going to show you if it's December 19th and you want to find a move-in to get in by the end of the year, you want a report to click that's going to unearth, where those most likely move-ins are sitting. So quick reports by clicking, giving you answers, showing you trends, how is my occupancy trending? Why am I losing leads? Why are people moving out? How long have they been stuck in a situation? Which leads are converting more? What are the activities that my sales directors are doing that are yielding the most move-ins? You want all of that, and you want to be able to click a button and have it tell you that. Chris, any other thoughts on reporting?
No, I mean, I think that, what you're hitting on in terms of just giving people access to information that matters to them as quick as possible. And I know that's like just that big piece. It's easy to get lost in mountains of data. So again, back to like even the customization and helping people understand, like, this is the ease of use, even as it pertains to reporting. Like, here's maybe a specific report that you need on an ongoing basis. I know, in the senior living world, there's accountability to like leadership. And so just helping again with that efficiency and saying, like, what can we do from the customization side as it pertains to reporting to make your life easier? I would definitely want that in my CRM for Christmas.
And I think the final loop on that really is, look, Welcome Home is in over 1,500 communities, and we've switched people off of every single CRM, right? And one of the things out there that when people make the switch that they're trying to deal with is every single Thursday or Friday or Monday, I have to get this report to these 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or maybe even 1 or 2 different investor groups, right? And so basically all day Thursday, I'm spent building reports and calling people and asking them why they didn't enter certain things, right? Your CRM, if that is you and you're currently like, it's Monday and it's near the end of the year and you're currently buried by an end of year report that you're doing to your investors, what I would wish for is that you could have an automatic report workflow, which have the report that you need to send to the investors.
Yep.
At 9 a.m., it sent it to your users to spot check. If they made a change, it would automatically update that report. At noon, it goes to your regional sales director. They audit it, and if they make a change, it automatically then and there updates that report. And then at 3 p.m., it comes to you, and it's already been scrubbed. It looks the way it wants to do. You do a once over, and at midnight, it's automatically going out to your investors. That would be the dream, and so that's what we've done with Welcome Home in a lot of its scenarios for a lot of operators, which is standardizing, everyone understanding what the investors want to see, vice how you as an individual contributor make that appear in their inbox. So that's my soapbox on reporting.
Teddy, as another random aside, you mentioned something earlier that made me want to ask. You talk about all this reporting and ease of use and everything, and why it's important to have a CRM that's easy to use so that people are actually putting the data in so you can have accurate reports. Do you find that there are people out there who have a CRM and are not using it?
Yes, 100%. Yes. I would say that the people out there that have, like, it varies, right? Like, as a whole, someone in the company is likely using it. The CRMs don't just slip through the cracks with nobody using them, right? But typically what you see, the national adoption average in the senior living space, and it was more in general, is like, I don't know, 62% of people are actually utilizing their CRM to the fullest extent. Welcome Home sees high 90% adoption within the first 30 days and sustained performance. So that's why we have our customer success team. That's why we have unlimited free training. That's why we lean forward and offer best practices. I just did a presentation to a bunch of executive directors free of charge at one of our operator groups on if I only had 15 minutes as an executive director to use Welcome Home, how would I do it, right? So we invest in our partners' success because we want them to be the best because they decided to partner with us.
Wow, fantastic. The last thing that we'll talk about now about what to look for in your CRM is mobility. Tell us more about that, Teddy.
Yeah. So we've kind of hammered home a little bit that your sales directors, executive directors, even your regionals and everyone are constantly traveling and or giving tours and or doing things. So what a novel idea to have your CRM accessible from anywhere, from any device, right? So if you are giving a tour and you need to send an email with a floor plan document, you don't need to wait until you get back to the sit portion of the tour, right? You can send that email right from your phone to the prospect while you're standing in front of them and have it auto logged that you sent that email in your CRM. Or that if you want to talk to text your notes after you just visited a referral partner, a social services or a doctor at a hospital, and you're leaving and you want to put notes in that referral partner's profile saying, reminder, Dr. John Riley thinks he's got 3, hot leads for me that he's going to have in the next month. He has a meeting next week. I'm talking all these notes in right now and just hit save, right? Mobility is crucial. You want a software mobile app that can do everything that you can do on the desktop so that you can be able to do it from anywhere. I was just with an operator and we were at their end of year party with their community, and they pulled me aside over drinks and said, I've got a question about this. And my initial instinct was to be like, well, yeah, let's talk about it when we're in front of our computers tomorrow. And then I was like, oh, wait, you have the mobile app on your phone? And they did. So they pulled the mobile app on our phone and we just talked through it while having a drink right then and there. So the mobile app is key. Mobility is key. You want to be able to do anything from everywhere, especially in this post-COVID era.
Wow. Fantastic. Thank you, Teddy. And I think if the sales directors wake up on Christmas morning, or let's say in 2023, and have Welcome Home under their tree, they'll be happy campers.
Yeah, if you're out there and you're thinking about your wish list and you want Santa to bring you Welcome Home in time, now's the time to reach out.
Now's the time. Yep.
You want it before Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. So visit Welcome Home website and sign up for a demo. Chris, anything else you want to add for?
Just really excited to be on the Welcome Home team. Looking forward into 2023. Again, as the CRM that joined the Welcome Home team in this holiday season, I couldn't have asked for, myself like joining a better team. And yeah, it's wonderful being a part of this group and the things that we're already talking about for next year, and some of that exciting more information that we're going to be sharing about how successful people have been using the platform. Really excited for that. And then, yeah, just being a part of this show. Looking forward to more Marketing Monday episodes, have some new guests on here, and get their insight into what's happening. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a good teaser. Next year in 2023, we're going to be bringing on a bunch of experts and also talking about all sorts of topics when it comes to marketing and sales. So we look forward to that. We wish everybody watching a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. And we will see you, believe it or not, next year. It's come by so fast. Ooh.